and whip to all you true believers. Aridan the Gaming Gronin here, and this is a video of my impressions of Spider-Man Homecoming. I just got home from watching Spider-Man Homecoming. I thought about that joke on the way here. Hope you like it. If you don't, well, leave the comments below, you know. And yeah, I gotta say, Spider-Man is back, and he's back in style, and he's back in a way I freaking love Spider-Man as a schoolboy. Not as that old graduation Parker of Tobey Maguire that's mopey and whiny and I hated him, that was a good Peter Parker in my belief but was a lame Spider-Man, or Andrew Garfield Spider-Man where he was a amazing Spider-Man of quips and jokes and all that stuff, but a little bit not too much of a Peter Parker side, like a skate and stuff. Really? Peter as a skate? I don't buy that. But truth be told, the new Spider-Man is amazing because I think, in my opinion, has the greatest balance between Spider-Man and the Peter Parker that has been shown on... so I'm a little bit tired. Just got home. Woo! Just searching, and also that jump and that whip also took a little bit of me. I'm fat. I gotta work on my shape, never mind that. But yeah, he has a perfect balance of the Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Peter Parker is a geek, he's at school, he hangs out with the nerdy kids, he's a part of a science decathlon team. Like, he's one of the smartest kids in the school, probably the smartest kid in the school, the smartest kid in his class. And what am I saying, Peter Parker? Spider-Man, well, Spider-Man is Spider-Man. He just throws quips, webs, and all that other stuff that you love from your friend neighborhood Spider-Man. And yeah, now that's after getting that of the Peter Parker side. I also don't remember the name of the actor that plays it this time. He's British, so that's going on for him. And yeah, I think I'm probably gonna learn his name for the next Marvel movie he's gonna appear in. This is his second movie. And yeah, I'm not gonna go into much of the spoilers in this video because I really wanna get you guys in tune that you should go and watch this movie because, as I said, it's a very good Spider-Man movie, as it should be. And so, what else to say about this? Yeah, I want to say about the villain. The Vulture is the villain, this one, played by Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton I remember, because he played Batman. So that's a step up from playing Batman to being the Vulture. And technically, when it comes to me, I don't know that much about the Vulture, aside from the fact that I remember him from the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. Remember that Spider-Man cartoon with that kind of sort of metal, heavy rock intro that the main villain for the most of the part was Kingpin, etc. Spider-Man team have a couple of... I like the cartoon. Some people say it's not good, but I like the cartoon. And in that cartoon, Vulture was, as usual, Adrian Toomes. Apparently he was a rich guy that was getting old, and he wanted to avoid that, so he got some sort of an ancient something, was it tablet, I think, so some kind of a sculpture, I don't remember correctly, that gave him the abilities. He used that technology in that stone thingy to create gloves that allowed him to suck the youth out of other people, hence the Vulture. Like the Vulture, he was stealing other people's youth and spray, and he was and actually I like him very much because his name is Adrian. Kin relationship between us two. And in this one, he's the Vulture because he's a scavenger. He scavengers... you know what I'm gonna tell you, I said no spoilers, so basically I'm gonna leave that to it. He's still a scavenger, and what he scavenges is you're gonna have to see for yourself. But yeah, he's got a little bit of a different story going for himself. He's definitely not a rich guy. I'm not certain what was his original story in the comic book. I'm hoping it's the same one as in the cartoon, like he's a rich boy that is afraid of dying, so he steals people's youth for himself. But yeah, as the Vulture, also, truth be told, we only got a little bit of a hint that the Vulture may appear in the Spider-Man movie from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. When you remember that amazing thing that was kind of sort of maybe spoofing that this Amazing Spider-Man 3 is gonna be Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six. Like we saw Dr. Octopus' arms, there was a sort of wings like for the Vulture. We already established that the Rhino's gonna be in there because we saw it, and truth be told, I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't get to see The Amazing Spider-Man 3. because I really kind of hoping was gonna appear in there, because Gwen Stacy died as it did in the comic book. Maybe Mary Jane is gonna appear, and also hard to say for me to put. But yeah, and here's the fact when they don't kind of sort of what it's different, and it doesn't even that does talk to me about the new Spider-Man, the Spider-Man Homecoming movie from the Marvel Studios collaboration with Sony, that they gave them the rights for Spider-Man. Good on their behalf, good choice. You should really do this, and this is my message for the guys at Fox. Also lend your rights to the X-Men to the Marvel Studios, because they know how to do shit, how to get shit done with this. And yeah, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked over here. So, Spider-Man's school life. I actually don't know a single person that actually hangs out around Peter Parker. The only person I actually did recognize is Flash Thompson, who in this edition is not a jock as usual he is. He's apparently also, I don't know, is that a thing about the Midtown High in New York, that it's a school for extremely gifted kids, only smart depends in science and biology and stuff like that. I did no jokes walking there, because seriously, if I remember correctly, I didn't see a single joke, like people throwing balls or stuff like that, like it was only for nerdy science kids. And yet, as you would say, Flash Thompson is still a dick to Peter Parker. He calls him Penis Parker, very mature, but yeah, there are 14-year-olds, 15-year-old kids in high school, so yeah, very original Flash. And apparently the original Flash got his nickname from the fact that he was fast on the football field. This time, this Flash gets his nickname because he apparently raises his hand the fastest, that he answers questions the fastest of them all. And that's the thing. So he's a part of the science decathlon, like Flash Thompson, in my memory and recollection, never actually had anything to do with science. He throws ball, he's a jock, he throws ball, that's what he does. I'm not dissing any jokes out there, because I couldn't throw a football if my life depended on it. Actually, couldn't football, rugby ball, whatever, that egg-shaped thingy, that can call it football if the majority of the game doesn't have anything to do with football. Foot, actually, feet. You don't kick it. You kick it only a part of times of the game, and I don't even know what are the rules for that. So, football is football. Here in Europe, where we live, we kick a round ball. It's made about of 52 patches, black and white. I don't remember the ratio between one and the other, but yeah, we kick 11 players on each team, 10 in the field on one team, one goalkeeper defends the goalposts, and yeah, that's all that is to it, and then just forget about that. So, and about the other people that hang around Peter Parker. So there's this, he was in the trailers, this little bit fat kid, his name is Ned, he's apparently Peter Parker's best friend. I have no idea who he is. Was he a prominent feature in the newer Marvel comics or something? I'm not in touch with that thing. I remember that Peter Parker's, his best friend is Harry Osborn, always has been, and technically I didn't even remember any other characters that hang around Peter Parker so much. Flash Thompson, maybe after he got the Venom suit, that they start to understand each other a little bit better. And who else was from the male counterpart in his in his school life? I don't remember anybody other than Harry Osborn that was hanging around with Peter Parker. And as for the girl parts, well, apparently Peter's romantic interest on his one Liz. Also don't know anyone by that name from the comic books that I read. What I brushed up on the Wikipedia and other Marvel related sites, that is apparently the first crush that Peter had was Betty Brant, or Grant. I don't remember the surname at this point. She was working at the Daily Bugle on the internship, I do believe, at that point, in the comic book, and they actually got a little bit of a fling together. It didn't last for long. Then was Gwen Stacy, which was amazingly represented as the Amazing Spider-Man. It's the amazing, I'm repeating myself, but yeah, the chemistry between Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movies was very good for me. And then there was Mary Jane Watson, who Spider-Man was irradiated with his spider semen. That was a thing. Go check it out. So yeah, and that was the thing that was in the original trilogy of Spider-Man, that was also from Sony, and when Tobey Maguire appeared as Spider-Man. So, and now we have this girl Liz. Also, girls that had a fling on one, also the ones that you remember from the comic books, definitely Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat. Also hoping maybe she's gonna appear in the next Spider-Man movie. And there was also that, I think Alicia Silverman, but I also remember that from the, oh, there's only one episode, and there's also the 1990s cartoon. So yeah, she was the daughter of, I don't remember the guy's name, but he was a yeah, I already said his surname, Silverman, and he was also a mob boss, and he was kind of a rival to Kingpin, so that was actually a little bit of a hard drama for Peter Parker. As usual, all of his relationships end in traumatic experiences, so it's no different in this one actually, so it doesn't end well for Peter when it comes to love life. But truth be told, the main story is that he wants to be one of the big guys, the Avengers, but they don't let him do it. Just Tony Stark is being patronizing and refuses to do anything. It's actually a weird thing. I mean, you bring him on into the Civil War to fight against superheroes like Ant-Man, like Captain America, who else will know to say, the Scarlet Witch, and he was doing pretty well in that movie. I mean, seriously. Like he was fighting the Falcon and the Winter Soldier on that, was it airfield or stuff like that, and he was doing pretty well in that one. Like he stole Captain America's shield, like he got a little bit. Maybe it was a point like Tony Stark did say in this one, if Captain America Steve Rogers wasn't pulling his punches, was fighting seriously, Spider-Man wouldn't stand a chance. But hard for me to say. Also, the thing that actually didn't stand out to me in this movie that much is Spider-Man's spider sense. It wasn't brought up that often. Maybe he doesn't have that in this rendition, because he seemed to be getting hit from back a lot of times. Like, okay, maybe I'm lying, but still, it wasn't actually showed up that Spider-Man has this danger sense that he prevents him from being hit. Maybe it was actually, maybe they didn't want to play, maybe probably he does have it, but you know, it also works finicky in the comic books and the cartoons and in the movies, so when he's supposed to get hit, he gets hit regardless of how well his spider sense works, so that's a thing. Like, you know how it works in every comic book. The writer that writes the hero can depower him or empower him the way he sees fit in the particular situation. So yeah, that's a thing. What else was I gonna supposed to talk about Spider-Man Homecoming? I said that I didn't want. Definitely go see it because it's a cool movie. It doesn't have that much in common with the comic book counterpart, as I can tell you, but it's a nice new rendition and it places Spider-Man well enough in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yeah. And oh yeah, I was talking about the fight. Maybe I think Spider-Man was a little bit of depowered from the first movie that we saw him in the Civil War, as I said before. That this time he actually seems to be struggling against Vulture, when he seems to be having a lot of fun and kicking the ass of Ant-Man and Winter Soldier. Like those scenes when he actually uses his knowledge of the old movie Star Wars Empire Strikes Back to tie Ant-Man's legs together so he drops, and like when he fights Falcon and the Winter Soldier in the terminal, like he's also doing quite well, like blocking Falcon's jet glider and throwing shit at the Winter Soldier. He was doing a lot better than he's doing around kind of sort of jobbers compared to those guys. Though truth be told, when it comes to the Vulture, he did have a lot of experience on his hand, because he's been doing this since the first Avengers movie. So yeah, the first Avengers movie was actually what, 2008? That was the thing, so he's actually been doing it for 8 years at this point, to 2016 or something. So yeah, he has a lot of experience on his hand. And Spider-Man, well, he was mainly dealing with robberies in delis and stuff like that, so he wasn't very much evident on the whole Marvel, I'll just say, major radar blimp. Like he wasn't a blimp, so he was doing mainly stuff in Queens, defending his neighborhood. Kind of like what Kamala Khan does as Miss Marvel in this rendition. Which begs the question, maybe Kamala Khan is gonna appear as one of the Spider-Man's love interests, because that could be a thing. I wonder if Miles Morales is gonna appear also. But yeah, I'm getting to the comic books a little bit and cartoons, and I gotta say, when it comes to Marvel Cinematic Universe and Marvel animations, at this point they seem to be taking a lot from each other. Why before, when the movies came and then came the cartoons took all the things that happened in the movies, like the visualization of the characters, the villains, the heroes, and was being updated from what we had from the comic books. Well, I think Spider-Man goes the other way around, because we had about, at this point, 3 seasons of Spider-Man and the Web Warriors, or the, was it the Superior no, not Spectacular Spider-Man. No, Ultimate Spider-Man, yeah, that's good. There's a lot of names that he's going Spectacular, Ultimate, and yeah, I mean the cartoon, the Ultimate Spider-Man, seems to be taking a lot from that cartoon and putting into the movie. Like, Spider-Man is a kid, he has his own problems, etc. His aunt is hot right now at this point, because in the previous it was done from the comic book, and the aunt was an elder person, and now in the animation, anime is kind of hot. She still has white hair, but this one in the movie we already seen her. She's got long dark hair, and when she's hot, I mean, Tony Stark has got a hots for her. A guy in Queens got a hots for her. Also leads to a kind of a little bit of hilarious scene in the movie. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. So yeah, apparently everybody's got hots for Aunt May in this universe. So that's a thing. And what else are we gonna say about this movie? Aside from the fact that it's awesome, and you should definitely go see it, because well, as I said before, it's a perfect balance between Peter Parker as Peter Parker and Peter Parker as Spider-Man. And that's that for my video at this point. Oh yeah, also one more thing, if you're waiting for the after credits, just don't, this time it's not worth it. You can just wait until the middle of the credits are done and just see the kind of cool scene that's happening, but don't wait until the after credits, because it's a troll. Marvel is trolling us, and you just want to see how are they gonna troll you. Well, you can just wait, but truth be told, it's nothing major when it comes to the storyline of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yeah, and that's that. And probably the next video I'm gonna do of this sort is gonna be for Ragnarok, which is I saw a trailer for it before Spider-Man began, and I actually saw a couple of cool things that I think is gonna be a cool movie. And usually I cannot tolerate I think is an unpalatable character in the Marvel universe for me when it comes to the comic book pages, and or maybe not comic book pages, but the animation mainly, because that's what they base it on. I don't like him, but Chris Hemsworth makes him work for me. So that's a thing. So yeah, and well, thank you for your attention, and hopefully I'm gonna be posting a lot more videos of this sort online. And as for the other thing, I'm gonna be making a little bit of announcement in another video, hopefully soon. So stay tuned, maybe subscribe, like, comment. I mean, I live for this shit, and this time I'm pretty much certain I am gonna try to commit. I think I said that before also, but yeah, I had a lot of things on my plate, and at this moment my schedule got a little bit lighter. My life had a couple of dramatic changes, but I'm not gonna go into that one right now. And the most important thing, just go swing into your nearest theater and watch Spider-Man Homecoming, because I think it's totally worth it. Spider-Man signing off. What am I saying? Aridan signing off.